Hi ho, it's V here from the .B channel, and I just wanted to show you the new Aroma spot. I'm a little giddy because the spot is really good, but Aroma is my favorite archetype of all time, so it's really good. It's perfect for pure Aroma. You can use it in like plant builds with like Sun Avalon or Rika. It's really good. Okay, so let's just get into the support. So firstly, we've got the what they're doing is like Aroma Lilith as opposed to Aroma Seraph, Aroma Seraphy. But we've got Aroma Lilith Rosalina. This is a hand trap that lets you discard a card to gain half an Aroma's attack on the field. Importantly, that is actual attack, not original attack, which matters later. But this is really good just as a way to get into the graveyard to then revive with Blessed Winds, which you get more access to Blessed Winds now, which is really good. And then on summon, that's normal or special. So if you summon this off 1-for-1, you can do it. If you summon it off a Lone Fire Blossom, you can do it. If you just summon it, you can do it. You can summon any non-tuner Aroma from deck, but you can't summon monsters for the rest of the turn except plants. It's a bit awkward that it has to be a non-tuner because obviously Angelica would be the best thing to summon off this. But you can summon a Marjoram to go into the Marjoram Synchro, which then immediately lets you grab a trap. You can go into Jasmine off of anything. You can search Jasmine. You can summon Jasmine off of this. It doesn't negate the effects. So if you have another way to gain life points, then you summon Jasmine off this. Then you get that extra normal summon. You get that draw. Or if you, for example, summon, say, Bergmot, you could go into, like, a Perialis or a Circle of the Fairies. Spitballing here. This card's crazy, right? It's also not Aroma specific, so you can absolutely run this in Sun Avalon as a starter, or Rika. This card is unbelievable. Let me just put it like that. Then we've got Aroma Lilith Magnolia. This is the new fusion. This is the first time Aromas have had fusions, but the new spell acts as a fusion spell, so they can use this. It's also good. It's also very good. So firstly, if you have more life points than your opponent, your plants can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. This is really good if you have this Aroma Seraph Marjoram and Aroma Seraph Jasmine, because you can set up this sort of lock where your opponent can't destroy your monsters by battle or card effects, and they're untargetable by monster effects. And all that time, you're gaining life points, you're reviving your monsters with Blessed Winds, so there isn't really much they can do about getting rid of your monsters, right? Because even if they, say, for example, manage to non-targeting banish one of your monsters, you can just revive another one to replace it. You're probably playing free of, honestly, in pure Aroma at least, you're probably playing free of each of these in the extra deck. Free of this, free of Jasmine, maybe 2 Marjoram, maybe 3 of this new one, Lilith. Aroma Lilith Rosemary. But we also have, once per turn, you can pay 2,000 life points, which is a lot, but it is Aroma, and they can afford to pay 2,000 life points. And banish cards on the field equal to the number of wins you control. This is really good. It's not a quick effect, which is fine. This is a more control-y strategy, and you can just get rid of your opponent's stuff, right? More importantly, you don't need to rely on triggering Dried Winds to, get rid of stuff, which means that you can save your actual life point gain to then trigger those effects for, like, say, the battle phase, for example. And on top of that, if you gain life points, you can have all plants gain attack equal. They've miswritten it. Gain attack equal to the amount. This is very strong. This lets you do stuff like, what's it called? You can, if you use an Angelica to gain, say, 2,000 attack, you can then give everything 2,000 attack. You can also combine this with Bergamot to really hate on, like, defense position-y decks, because you can gain another 1,000 on everything. This probably gives Bergamot a use, to be honest, giving you extra, even more attack. Just basically let you OTK, let you finish your opponent off, which is one of the things that Aroma, to a certain extent, struggled with. It's really good, let's just say that. And you might even run, like, Poly or something to, like, enable this. I don't really think there are any other, I guess there's Predaplants, but there's not really any other, like, generic-y plant fusion decks that would be able to enable summoning this. But this card just, in the Aroma strategy, this card is amazing. Then we've got the best card of the bunch, arguably. I'd say it is at least, which is Aroma Lilith Rosemary. This is the new Link Free. Link Free is actually really good for the deck because it's something you can make with a Jasmine. It also means you don't have to necessarily rely on playing stuff like the Sun Avalon Link Free in order to make the Bang Lancer, which is good. Though, realistically, you can just end on this and it's good. So you can, once per turn, if it's special summoned, add an Aroma card from deck to hand. This is huge for the deck. It means that they can now search their back row. Obviously, you can search the Winds cards with the with the Synchro Marjoram, but before now you weren't able to search anything like Aroma Garden, Aroma Gardening. This searches those. More importantly, it searches the new one that places a Winds from deck directly into the spell or trap zone. That's really good. If you gain life points, you can special summon up to 3 Aroma monsters from your hand. This is fine. This mostly enables going into Bang Lancer if you already have a Blessed Winds set, so then you can revive this on your opponent's turn. Because it does trigger to add an Aroma card, even if it was special summoned by the effect of Blessed Winds, which is really huge. And then, on top of that, you can tribute a monster it points to banish a card on the field and gain 1,000 life points. This is just more board breaking. We have a lot of it in the deck already, but being able to go for lethal quicker is nice, and being able to force out negates is nice. And because it can target a card on the field, it gives other plant decks a way to win in time. In AROMAGE, we don't worry about winning in time. There's absolutely no way we're going to gain more life. But, like, it's generic. You can run it in Sun Avalon. You can use it as a way to win in time if you would otherwise lose in time. Aroma Blend. This card is amazing. This card is really good. So you discard one card, which is fine. Sometimes this can actually be to your advantage because you're putting something that, like an Angelica in grave that you would otherwise not be able to trigger immediately. Place a Winds directly in your deck. This is important because placing it means that you can activate immediately. This means that you can use Blessed Winds to revive on turn 1. Or if you've got your Blessed Winds, because realistically you're playing like 2 Blessed Winds, 1 Humid, 1 Dried, you can grab a Dried. And because this gives you a second way to search these, it means that you have access to both Dried and Blessed turn 1. I'm not even sure if you need Humid anymore with the amount of searching the decks have gotten now. But it just gives you more ways to get to your spells. And by having multiple, it's just really nice. And on top of that, you can banish it from your graveyard to fusion summon a plant fusion monster. This is going to be, just for the record, this is going to be the new one. There are other plant fusion monsters. Obviously, you can make, like, Draco Stapelia, which honestly, you might play Draco Stapelia in this deck for, like, niche cases where if you've got Magnolia in grave. But for the most part, you're using it to, oh shit, you can run this in branches. Okay, no, let's stop. You can use it to make the new one. Because it banishes from grave, it's just really good because you want to play this from hand, and then you can also fusion summon. And because your life points will be higher than your opponent's, because you're playing AROMAGE, you can use plant monsters from your graveyard. So you're not even losing any advantage, you're just getting the fusion for free. Which then helps you set up that lock with the Jasmine and the Marjoram and the fusion. It's a great card. And lastly, we've got the Aroma Healing Trap card. This card is probably the weakest out of the 3, but it's still pretty insane. Gaining 1,000 life points for each Aroma with different names you control. It's just a good effect, right? Like, obviously, you're not really struggling to gain life points in AROMAGE, but you just gain some life points, right? You're putting a buffer against your opponent killing you, and you're triggering all your life point effects. And you can banish it from your graveyard to revive an Aroma, but banish it when it leaves the field. This is a good effect. The fact that it banishes is a bit annoying, but like we've seen cards like that be objectively good for archetypes anyway. Look at the Fabled Bank in Fables. And gaining you 500 life points on like a quick effect is really nice. I think there's a world where the deck plays Foolish Burial Goods to trigger Aroma Blend, Aroma Healing, and maybe Rainbow Bridge of Salvation to search Aroma Garden, but that's a little bit less secure. Overall, thank you, Konami. I have forgiven you for limiting my boy Magnamute. You've made the best Aroma support I could have asked for. Only thing the deck needs now is maybe a way to recover the back row, but there are generic ways to do that, so let's not worry about that. Other than that, you might see another video later in the week about the ever-changing editions or rush draws. So, thank you. Bye.